So, if you own a lead generation business or you are generating leads on behalf of your clients, this video is going to show you how last month in February, so from the 1st of February to the 28th of February, how I was able to generate over 30 booked qualified appointments for this client who essentially is selling his Facebook advertising services for e-commerce stores. So this niche, this industry, going after e-commerce businesses is very competitive, and that's the reason why I want to show you this video. Is because we're able to craft an advertisement on Facebook and Instagram that's able to generate us all of these appointments right here. Now, just to confirm that all of this is not a Photoshop, it's not a screenshot, I'm just going to refresh the screen so you can see that this is 100% legit. And once it finally decides to load, you can clearly see that we are booking multiple appointments on certain days for this client. And obviously, I do understand that some days did not any appointments. That's only because we was having a few issues with the ad account. But once the ads were running, you can see from a Monday to a Friday, based on this client's availability, he's not available on a Wednesday. So he's not available over the weekend, which is why you don't see any appointments for a Saturday or a Sunday. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the advertising account and I'm going to reveal one secret that we are using that not many other YouTube channels or gurus or whatever you want to call them are actually implementing, which will be incredibly valuable for your success. So now that you've seen that what I'm saying is going to be valuable to you, let me switch over to the ad account. And just like before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh the screen so that you know that this is not Photoshop, it's not fake, nothing like that. So as you can see over here that we're currently running two campaigns. One is going to go to a landing page, and then the other one is a Facebook lead form. And at the end of the lead form, there's a call to action to book an appointment in the client's calendar. Now, I'm not going to show you the landing page. I'm not going to show you the emails or the text messages that we're sending out, only because I just want to teach you one simple technique or tactic that's really going to help you boost your advertisement's performance. So let's just, for example, go to this particular campaign, which we are sending traffic to a landing page. So as you can see over here, I've done a tremendous amount of testing in order to find one particular ad set, one particular audience that can finally generate us, not just appointments, but qualified appointments. I know that it says leads, but the lead pixel event trigger occurs when an appointment is booked. That's how I have set it up, if that makes sense. So, what I want to teach you is something that my client actually introduced to me, which is called cross targeting or the cross targeting method. Or what I like to call it is the blue ocean targeting. So, how I first heard of somebody using this strategy was actually a few years ago. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, I'm going to put my camera on so that I can actually make some sort of eye contact with you. Amazing. So, when I first heard of this strategy, it was like 3, 4 years ago. So this strategy has been around for some time now, and there is a dropshipper called Scott Isles. Obviously, you can search him up on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And essentially, he is a dropshipping e-commerce expert guru who's making millions per year with his Shopify store. Now, he had a friend, and I remember when I was, because the reason why I know this story is because he told me this story in a course that he was doing. But he had a friend who was selling, where is it? But anyway, he had a friend that was selling basically, back in the day, if you remember, do you remember the Apple AirPods? The fake ones, they were super, super, super duper popular. Obviously, this is not an AirPod, but just to show you that his friend, who was an e-commerce dropshipper, went on AliExpress and saw that these Apple AirPods were selling and selling like crazy. So, of course, he saw an opportunity and he wanted to essentially do the same. So what he decided to do was build a Shopify store, build the Facebook advertisement and everything like that, and then start running his ads. And just like what you have seen in my advertising account, he was testing different audiences. So, for example, Apple, Samsung, different, people who own an iPhone X, people who own an iPhone 11, people who own an iPhone, whatever. He was targeting people who, well, obviously, which is a bit different, but people who were interested in Samsung. You basically get the idea. People who are interested in computers, etc. And all of these interests he was targeting wasn't generating him any kind of real results, if that makes sense. And it got to the point where he was spending hundreds and thousands of pounds into his advertising account and still not generating any positive return. And it got to the point where he was actually going to give up until one day, what he decided to do just before he turned off the whole entire campaign and just give up on the product is he decided to think about the customer avatar who will be the person who is buying the product, which is the fake Apple AirPods. And he thought to himself, rather than targeting the obvious keywords, the obvious interest, which would be Apple, which will be iPhone, smartphone, etc. What else do this customer avatar, what else do they buy, basically? So someone who's going to buy a fake AirPod, what else will they buy? What else are they interested in? Because at the end of the day, you're advertising to a human being, and human beings has multiple different interests, hobbies, things that they like to do, things that they love, things that they enjoy, and things that they are willing to spend money on. But the point I'm trying to make is one interest. Sorry, I've been running some Google ads. That's the reason why I keep saying keywords. But one interest he decided to target was frozen foods. Because obviously he knew that his target audience will be interested in buying frozen foods. Because again, they're human beings, they've got to eat. So when he tested that interest, then his sales took off and he was making multiple six figures, so over 100k per year from that one single interest. And from that one single interest, he was able to find other interest, which allowed them to scale his e-commerce dropshipping store to seven figures. So that is what I call cross targeting, because the point is, and is actually the message of this advertisement and why it's doing so well and how it's able to book all of these appointments, is because what a lot of advertisers do, and not just to generate leads, but for e-commerce or for, if you're hosting an event or anything like that, is they like to target interest that your competitors are also targeting, the obvious interest. So let's just say, for example, in this case, you are selling your e-commerce Facebook ad services. The basic keywords would be e-commerce. It would be Shopify. It would basically be, supplements, which is different types of e-commerce stores. It would be one of them that we're testing is clothing retailer. All of these obvious keywords. Now, the problem that this client was having is, if you take a look over here, you can see that the cost per impression, so the cost to reach 1,000 views, essentially, is really, really high. You can see that here, if we're targeting, e-commerce business owners that are selling infant clothing, it's costing over $200 in order to reach 1,000 people. And what that means is, when you have a very high CPM, that means your ad is going to reach less people. And when it reaches less people, that means you're going to have to spend more in order to generate clicks, in order to generate add to carts, initiate checkouts, and ultimately purchases. If you're an e-commerce business, of course. But from a lead generation perspective, it just means what you're seeing over here is going to be very expensive to generate one single click, if that makes sense. Because you can see over here that it's costing $25.95 for this client to get one individual to click on his ad, which is not really sustainable, because you're going to need a lot of money, and this client doesn't have an unlimited resource of cash, if that makes sense. So what cross targeting is, and the mindset is targeting keywords, sorry, that'll be the last time, is targeting interest that your competitors are not targeting so that you can lower your CPM, and as a result, your ad reaches more people, and as a result, your cost per click is lower, your click through rate is higher, and as a result, you are generating more leads. So let me go into a bit more detail about what I mean by cross targeting again. So, what you are doing is rather than targeting the standard keywords, so in this client's instance, selling Facebook advertising for e commerce businesses, rather than targeting entrepreneurship, digital marketing, all of these keywords, as you can see, it has an extremely high CPM. What we decided to do instead is target keywords, so target interest that competitors are not targeting. You see, I think this is just my opinion here. I might be right, I might be wrong, but looking at the data, it's proof that I'm probably right. In order to target one specific customer, there are different interests that that customer has. I think every single person watching this video can agree on that. But what I also believe is, if, for example, in this case, you want to target your customer and one of the interests that you are using is, for example, Shopify, because of course they have a Shopify store. Now, you notice that the Shopify interest is highly competitive. It's going to be costing you close to $1,000 to reach 1,000 people. You realize that that is just not going to work. You're going to need the most incredible advertisement, and even then, it's still not really going to perform really, really well, if that makes sense. So, the idea is, and my opinion is, you can target another keyword to target the exact same person for a cheaper price. Does that make sense? Let me repeat that again. You can target the same person with a different keyword for a cheaper price. So rather than targeting, for example, your customer avatar with the keyword Shopify, in this case for the client, he's selling e-commerce, so he's selling Facebook ads for e-commerce businesses. Why don't you try, for example, social media marketing, for instance? Because this Shopify store owner is also going to be marketing on social media. Does that make sense? And by targeting social media marketing, that's going to lower your CPM, increase your views, therefore decreasing your cost per link click, and as a result, increasing your click through rate, which in turn will allow you to generate more leads and therefore more appointments. And you can even take it one step further, not just social media marketing, you can even do brand marketing, which is the keyword right here. So, which is the interest, sorry, right here that is generating us the results that you can see right here. Because another example that I love to give, and this will drive the point home. I used to do sale. Well, let me show my face so I can make eye contact. I love to make eye contact. So I used to do sales in terms of I used to go to supermarkets. Obviously, I'm based in the UK, so places like Asda, places like Tesco, and obviously when people go to the supermarket, obviously they'll buy the products that they want, and then right after they've essentially made their purchase, um, me and the company that I was working for will have a stall where we would basically sell customers that go to Asda, Tesco, or whatever supermarket. We would sell them gas and electricity. Now, this is the point that I'm trying to make. One thing that I learned from the training that I was doing in order to sell gas and electricity is gas, electric is electric, meaning they all come from the same place in the United Kingdom called the national grid. You can search it up if I haven't explained it that well. So gas is gas, electric is electric. It all comes from the exact same place, the national grid. So the point that we are trying to make to the potential customer is, why pay more for something that is exactly the same that you can get for less when you join basically the company that I'm trying to promote, if that makes sense. So why pay more for something that you can essentially, well, you should be, from the customer's perspective, be paying less. And the exact same principle applies here. Why pay more for an interest, when if you target a different interest, cross-targeting, that will allow you to pay less in order to reach the exact same people. Does that make sense? So that's basically what I want to leave you with. So if, for example, you are selling, I don't know, for example, if you're selling home improvement, for instance, and you're targeting, the key home improvement interest. Like there's an interest called home improvement, there's an interest called home, there's an interest if you want to do kitchen renovations or bathroom renovations, remodel, you can target kitchens, you can target bathrooms. And if those audiences are not performing, this is where cross targeting or blue ocean targeting comes into play. What else is that audience? Ask yourself, what else is that audience interested? What else are they buying? Does that make sense? And to, again, finally, to drive this point completely home, this client that I'm running Facebook, well, doing this lead generation for, he also owns a drop shipping store, funnily enough, and he's selling dog clothing. And when I was running advertisements for this client, one of his best performing keywords wasn't anything dog related. Actually, it was sorry about that. Yeah, one of his best performing interest wasn't anything dog related. It was actually targeting TV shows. Can you imagine? So TV shows such as Stranger Things. I think another one was Modern Family. I think we also tested The Walking Dead, because other dog clothing e-commerce stores wasn't targeting those keywords, they wasn't targeting those interests, and because of that he was able to generate really, really good results. Does that make sense? So that's the point that I want to essentially leave you by, that if you are testing different audiences and the audiences don't seem to work, before you completely give up, try thinking outside of the box and try thinking, what else does this customer buy? What other interests do they have? If you sell a dog clothing store, try TV shows. Another example would be, I was selling a digital product, which basically helps people make money online. Not myself, but for this client, he has multiple businesses, and he was selling a digital product helping people make money online using, funny enough, Facebook ads. And one of the best performing interests was hobbies. So hobbies such as jogging, such as hiking, those interests performed really, really, really well. So that's what I want you to try in your campaign right now, right this second, if you can, or at least after your current test is finished. And if the test isn't successful, then try this. Try thinking of an audience that your competitors are not targeting, that will allow you to reach the exact same person but for less. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, I'll go into more detail in terms of the actual ad, in terms of the actual landing page, and yeah. And just before you go, just to prove to you I truly do practice what I preach, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually reveal to you the ad that we're currently running. But what I want to reveal to you is the copy, because in another video we can go over the creatives, etc. So what I want to show you is the actual copy itself. So you can pause this video, have a read of it, and you can see that I'm literally practicing what it is that I'm preaching over here. This is the client. He's managed over 250 ad campaigns, and the number one mistake I see e-commerce stores make is you're targeting audiences every other store in your niche is targeting. This is why your CPMs cost more. You're getting less clicks and you're paying more to get new customers every day. But we can fix this in 30 minutes using our secret cross-targeting method, which is what I've been giving you an examples in this video. You'll be targeting audiences that your competitors don't know about. You'll get more views for less, more clicks for less, and more sales for half the price you are paying now. These audiences are easy to find, and obviously that's just marketing to create curiosity. But just to prove to you the final nail in the coffin that I truly do practice what I preach, and what it is that I'm teaching you is actually what's booking all of these calls right here, right now. So thank you. I look forward to your success. Drop a comment and let me know how you're going on. And of course, if you want help in generating more appointments for your business, if it's to do with lead generation or even e-commerce, then click on the link down below, sorry, to book a call with me, and then we can discuss a little bit more further what it is that you need help with, what are you struggling, and ultimately if I can help you get better results than the results that you're currently getting. So thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.